Welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help educate you about narcissistic abuse because your feelings do matter. Hi, and welcome to another broadcast of Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.L. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is Monday, January the 31st of 2022. I pray that you had a blessed and wonderful week last week and that this week will continue to be blessed for you as well. I pray it's been narcissistic free, stress free, abuse free. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's broadcast, I would like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on our website, you'll find valuable information regarding narcissism, regarding relationships. You can also listen to this broadcast. If you've missed any, just go directly to our website to listen, or you can listen to the whatever platform you're listening to. We're always in the archives. We're on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, as well as on Amazon Audible. That's right, Amazon Audible. And again, you can listen to us on YouTube. We're uploading on YouTube. So if you type in Narcissistic Abuse No More, you'll see the silhouette, our main image, our silhouette with, I believe it's a female or a male in there, and with a question mark in the box. I forgot which one. But anyway, you can go there on YouTube. And the thing is, put us in your favorites, regardless of what platform you're listening to us on. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that bell and the notification button, and it will alert you as to whenever we post new broadcasts. All right, what are we talking about today? You know what, can you believe this is the last day of the first month of the year? These days are flying by. Yes, they are. They are flying by. And so, you know what, as the days are flying by, we also want to we want to not fly our recovery in and for a speed wise, but you want to be seeing that, hey, you know what, I'm making some progress, even if it's baby steps. You want to be making progress on the road to recovery. So one of those things that will help you on your road to recovery, for those who have been through abuse and have gone through dealing with toxic individuals, toxic people, dysfunction, and all those things, is being able to set boundaries. Being able to set boundaries. And it is so important. In order to be a healthy you, it is important to set boundaries. Yes, we all need them. We all should have them, but we all need them. We definitely need them. And it is, if you do not have any boundaries, then guess what? You are not going to be the healthy person that you should be, that you deserve to be. You deserve to be healthy, all right? So in order to be emotionally healthy, you have to set some boundaries. And all the times people won't like those boundaries, but guess what? They're there to help you, all right? They're there to help you. And so if you have always been this people pleaser that's always looking to please everyone, guess what? Don't. You can't please everybody, all right? But you can make sure that, hey, you can be the healthiest person emotionally, physically, spiritually that you can be. And it can sometimes be a little uncomfortable when you are setting boundaries for the first time. You're saying, you know what, I can't do this, or this is not for me. But you know what, this will help to boost your self-esteem. It will help you to understand your your self-worth, when you're setting boundaries that I am worth someone being respectful to me, I am worth someone valuing me. And so therefore, in order to have the value, then you need to set boundaries. Let me just say this. Sometimes I'm going to use a car, for example. You might purchase a vehicle. It might be a limited edition. All right. When they say limited edition, normally that means it's not going to be available for a long time. But the thing is, they know their value. So when they say this is a limited edition, maybe it's a perfume or some scent or something of that nature, they know the value in whatever it is. Their limited edition is saying that this is not going to be available to everybody. So you have to make yourself a limited edition. Say, you know what, I will, I can't be there or I can't do everything that others want me to do. I'm a limited edition. That means that I have to choose and select. I'm only for a limited time because I'm setting those boundaries. And when you do, you give yourself a healthy balance. You give yourself the ability to know your value and to allow others to not take you for granted. And this will help to strengthen your self-esteem. So one of the things, actually, as always, I love to go to the website. I'm going to try to put this on our website today. This is from Jason Connell, dealing with boundaries, and it's 30 ways to set boundaries to your life. And I love these boundaries because it's important to have them. And when you know your worth, you will have no problem with setting boundaries. We all need boundaries, rather it's setting boundaries, things that we're not going to do for ourselves, or setting boundaries that we're not going to allow others to do to us. So number one, prioritize the things that make you happy and keep you healthy and sane. There's a thin line between insanity and sanity, okay? So the thing is, you have to prioritize what makes you happy. We're not talking about in the selfish sense. When we're talking about taking care of you emotionally, we're not talking about things that's going to harm others. When you're talking about harming others, then it actually helps you or nobody else. So we don't want to do things that's going to hurt other people, but at the same time, you don't want those things that you're doing for others to hurt you as well. So set boundaries or prioritize the things that helps to keep you happy. Does it taking a walk in the morning? Does returning someone's phone call, or talking to someone, or not talking to someone? We're going to go into that a little bit later. So prioritize the things that make you happy and pay attention to those things, because it's important for you to maintain a level of peace in your life. Number two, say no to the things that doesn't interest you and explain why you're saying no. This is not to explain it to someone else. This is for you. This is your personal notes. Say what are the things that doesn't interest you, and if those things don't interest you. Now, sometimes we'll do things for others that don't interest us out of selflessness. Okay. However, there's times that you might say, you know what, this is not in my best interest, or this doesn't interest me at all. And you have to get out of the habit of saying yes to things that may not interest you or be in your best interest. Again, we're not talking about selfishness. We're talking about being true to who you are, for those that have a hard time setting boundaries. Number three, one of the things that's important is say no, being able to say no without offering an explanation. One of the things that people that are people pleasers find it hard to do is, if they say no, they feel like I have to go into details. I have to explain. For example, if someone wants you to hang out on the weekend and you know you have some studying to do, well, you feel guilty if you say no, for those that are people pleasers. And the thing is, when you go into the explanation, well, I can't hang out this weekend. Now, some people you can say, I can't hang out this weekend because I got to study. And they're fine with that. These are healthy individuals that don't mind hearing the word no. They understand. But then you're dealing with toxic people that might never take no for an answer. And so you feel like, well, I got to go into an explanation. I can't go out this weekend. I have to study. I have an exam, my teacher. And even after you go into all that explanation, they still will not see things your way. So there are times when you just have to say no and don't bother offering an explanation. That just the answer is no. You might have someone that wants you to do something, and then you might have planned, hey, I just want to be in my pajamas with some hot cocoa for that particular weekend. Well, you don't have to explain yourself to people. If the answer is no, then you just say, no, I can't do it this weekend, and then change the subject. And you don't have to give an explanation. If you're living in your own house, paying your own bills and taking care of yourself, you don't have to give everyone an explanation as to why you say no. And at first when you do those things, it might feel a little uncomfortable because you're used to having to explain, and you're used to telling people or giving them an explanation. But you will find that the more that you say no or stick to your boundaries, the easier it'll get. Number 4, say no, but respectfully affirm that other person's desire. So when you're saying no, you don't have to do it in a rude way. You could just say, I understand your desire for X, Y, and Z, but unfortunately this may not be the best option for me at this time, and then just leave it at that. So you don't have to cut the person off. It might be important to that person, but then it's not in your best interest to do that particular thing at this time. So you can reaffirm them without chopping them down. You can say, I totally understand where you're coming from, but at this time I'm going to have to decline. And that's a positive way to not leave it on a negative note. Now, it's never negative if you have to set boundaries for you, but just so it won't be so bad, if you want to make sure that you're reaffirming that person, then you can just let them know, I'm not chopping you down because it's a bad idea or whatever, but at this time I cannot participate. Number 5, say no by explaining that you need a bit of time to focus on certain things. Now, this is if you need to or want to go into an explanation for some things. Again, you don't want to feel like you have to go into an explanation. But if you need to, then, or if you feel better, would just say, you know what, I'm going to have to say no at this time, but, I need to take a mental health break, for example, or I need to have some self time. So you could just let them know, hey, I'm prioritizing my health first. This right now, I won't be able to do whatever it is that they're wanting you to do. I need to take some time for me, and that will be okay. This is, again, if you're dealing with healthy individuals. Now, if you're dealing with narcissists, they're going to try to back you into a corner, and you're going to have to fight your way out that corner for explaining, well, why I don't do this and why I don't do that and why this is not good. And you don't want to back yourself into a corner. However, if you're dealing with someone that respects you, then they will understand and they won't pressure you into doing whatever it is you have decided not to do. Number 6, if you're struggling to say no in the moment, then just say this, you know what, let me think about it and get back to you. That is the best way to handle things, because sometimes we have found ourselves saying yes to things and we said, why in the world did I say yes? So instead of saying yes, just say, you know what, let me think about it and get back to you. And that way, that gives you time to collect your thoughts and how you're going to say yes or no. All right. So don't make a practice of always saying yes immediately. All right. Give yourself some time, especially if you are a people pleaser and you know that you struggle with always saying yes. And even if you feel like they're trying to put you on the spot at that moment and make you come to a decision, a rush decision should normally be a no decision. OK, a rush decision normally needs to be a no decision, because if you feel like you're rushed, that means that you have not had time to really evaluate the pros and the cons. For example, when you go to a car lot, And I have never liked to go to places where I feel like I'm being pressured. I'm like, as soon as I open the door, walk on the lot, it's like a lot of times you feel like you got vultures at you because everybody's trying to make their commission, and I understand that. But if I go into a furniture store, if I go in the car, like, please let me just walk through. Give me some time to look around before you start falling on me like vultures and trying to pick at me or whatever. So you need to sometimes back away and say, you know what, let me have a moment to think about it, and then I will get back to you. Number 7, send the call to voicemail. If someone calls you and you know they normally have pressure tactics, or you know it's a conversation that you don't want to have at that particular time, let the voicemail get it. That's what voicemail is for. It is great. It is a great feature of modern technology. Remember, for those of us who are old enough to remember the day when you had those phones that spun around. I forgot what you call those phones, those dial phones, and you had to take your finger, put in there, and I forgot what you call them phones. But anyway, so there used to be a time when you picked up, you didn't have call ID, you didn't have call waiting. I think when call ID and call waiting came out, but you didn't have call ID, you didn't have call waiting and everything. And so when someone called, you really didn't know who was at the other end of the phone, so that you could ignore it. Well, now in modern days, we have the thing called voicemail. We have voicemail. We have caller ID. We even have call block, okay? So the thing is that you can have that call go to voicemail. If it's somebody that you don't want to talk to, or you know they is someone that won't respect your boundaries, or is always some drama, let them go to voicemail. You are not obligated to pick up the phone every time someone calls you, especially if you're certain people that you have dealings with that's toxic. Number 8, wait for a few hours or days before returning a call, text, or email. I tend to even go weeks, okay? So if I'm busy, if I'm doing something, if it's something that's not important or whatever the case may be, you know what? I don't return calls right away for those that might be toxic, or you dealing with some drama, or you know this person when they're calling is always going to be something dramatic that they're calling about or whatever. So the thing is that you decide, you set the boundaries for when and if you want to deal with people, and what manner. Somebody might call, you might decide, you know what, I'm not going to call them on the phone. I'm just going to send them a text. Okay, that makes it short. All right, so a brief text, 3 words, 5 words, whatever the case may be. Or you know what, I'm not going to call. I'm just going to send them an email and just send, because the email, the conversation will be short, direct, to the point, or whatever. So you decide what method that's best for you. Number 9. When dealing with the difficult people, inform them that you've made the decision without having to ask for permission or their input. Okay, so inform them of the decision you made. You have to be assertive sometimes. So you let them know, this is the decision that I've made. Therefore, you stand on that decision. You don't have to explain your way out of it. You let them know. For example, if you don't want to go to a family gathering, you decide, you know what, me and my spouse, we're just gonna spend this holiday at home with the two of us, and you just say, you know what, this is the decision we've made this year. We're gonna spend it at home with ourselves, and you don't have to explain yourself to people just because they want you to do something. Number 10, and we're going to take a quick break. Make a mental health day where you ignore everything you want to ignore, including work, and focus on yourself. And again, I'm not talking about selfishness. Okay, we're not talking about selfishness. We're talking about even Jesus. Jesus will oftentimes go spend time alone, okay, to go talk to the Father. Sometimes you have to pull back. Sometimes you need to take a break. In the Bible, it talked about the crowds always followed him, and people, wanted healing. They came to listen to him preach and speak, but sometimes he had to pull away, and then there were times he would take Peter, James, and John. So the thing is that sometimes it's good, it's healthy to pull away, to spend time with yourself and God, and to take that time to pray, to meditate, to just be in quiet. We're so busy having everything, music and noise, and having all this noise but we very seldom might sometimes not take enough time to spend it in total silence, or just to have even if you're listening to what they call white noise, or some instrumental music or something, just to have a day or at least some time for peace. All right, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment. Stop in the Name of Love, Diana Ross and the Supremes. All right. So number 11, we're still talking about those boundaries. There are a lot of people and activities that are great for an hour but unbearable for a day. The thing is, if you know that there are people around you that are very toxic, then limit the time that you interact, all right? So it won't drive you insane. If you know that, hey, I can only deal with them for an hour, then only go for an hour. If you go into their house, if you happen to go to a function, make sure that you have an escape route before you be stuck for the whole day. Don't ride with them. If you know you're going somewhere, you're going to tolerate that person for a certain length of time. Do not allow them to come pick you up. You meet them there so that you can leave. Number 12. For people who are particularly difficult and also unavoidable, only agree to hang out with them in particular settings where you can tolerate them. Okay, so this right here, what this means is that if you know that it's a person that absolutely gets on your last nerve, then make sure it's not a one-on-one. Maybe make sure it's a larger group, someone where a place where you can interact with other people and you're not stuck with just that one person that you may not necessarily get along with, or there's always some drama. Excuse me. Make sure that other people are around so you can have an outlet instead of having to just deal with that one particular person. So never be with that person one-on-one. Try to make sure there's other people around. Another thing too, if you're dealing with people that are always starting arguments, well, normally they're not going to do that in front of others, because as we know, narcissists love to have this facade. They love to have wear this mask. They never show who they are, the real them, and so therefore they're less likely to start things in front of others, but they will do it behind closed doors. So make sure you're in a group or have other people around so they won't show the real deal. Number 13. If someone is bothering you, is really bothering you, then sometimes you have to go no contact. Someone that's extremely toxic, you block their emails, phone number, or social media. Get them off your social media page. I have no problem with my friend Mr. Block on social media. If someone is annoying and they're disrespectful, and I've had to block a lot of people because people are just totally annoying. They feel like that they can say anything to you on social media. Well, guess what? I block them. Okay, so I'll block them. I'll block their phone number. I'll block email. Where they can't get in. And this is also good with those people that like to solicit things or whatever. You block their numbers, block their email addresses. If they send you stuff in the mail, send it back. Don't even open it. Return to sender. So that's the good thing that you have with being able to set boundaries in this area. If it's someone that's a nuisance to you and you feel like I can't deal with this anymore, then you can block. There's various methods you can block them. Number 14. When someone does something that you really like, point it out and give them a compliment. And this also encourages good behavior. When someone does something and you feel like, hey, you know what, I just want to compliment them, and that lets them know to keep doing whatever it is that they're doing. This reinforces the good behavior instead of the bad behavior. You do this even with children. When they do something good, then you reward. Sometimes people reward good behavior with their kids, or they at least reaffirm that, hey, this is good. This is what we expect out of you. So this is the same thing when you're dealing with other people. If there's a behavior that you like, then you tell them, hey, you know what, this is nice. I really like this. Keep that going. Number 15. When someone hurts you, let them know, regardless of their intent. Sometimes it's good to just immediately. Now let me just be careful with this one, because when you're dealing with a narcissists never care what they do to you. They always going to make an excuse, and then they're going to flip-flop it on you and make you seem as if you're the bad guy. So when you're dealing with someone that's healthy, though, you can let them know, hey, that hurt me. And maybe they didn't intend for it to happen, but it did. And so then they'll try to reassess, and you all can come to a meeting of the minds. But when you're dealing with narcissists, they never take responsibility for their actions. They never say, hey, I was at fault. You know what? Maybe I could have did some things better. And then you two can come to a meeting of the minds to say, you know what? Okay, well, maybe I can change something. They say, well, maybe I can change something. And you come together. That's when you're dealing with a healthy relationship. But when you're dealing with narcissists, narcissistic people, they will never accept that they did anything. It's always going to be you. You're going to be the bad guy. You're going to be the scapegoat. You're going to be the black sheep, and they will never accept any responsibility for their own actions. So you have to basically know what type of individuals are you dealing with. Are you dealing with people that are healthy, and then you could talk to them about your hurt, and you all come together and decide, okay, well, how can we move forward? Or if you're dealing with someone who's all self-centered and could care less, then okay, regardless of what you tell them, they're not going to be receptive to it. So therefore, you have to reevaluate that relationship and decide, okay, I'm not going to let them hurt me no more. And even if you don't say anything to them, okay, this will never happen again, because this is how I'm going to change that situation so that they will not be able to do that to me anymore. Number 16. If something is making you uncomfortable, let the person know. Do not do things just for the comfort of the other person. If you are in a relationship with anyone, then it should be mutual respect there. There should be mutual respect. If you are in a relationship, you should not want to hurt another person, and they should not want to hurt you, and they should not want you to do things that you're uncomfortable with. So if you're totally uncomfortable in a situation, or you feel awkward, or whatever the case may be with something that someone asked you to do, then you let them know, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and they should be able to respect that. And even if they don't like it, if they really care about you, they will respect it. And if they don't, then guess what? You still stick to your boundary. Number 17, if someone brings up a subject that gets you all into a heated disagreement, then it's best to change the topic. And sometimes you get pulled in by these people, by these narcissists. You get pulled into an argument with them, and you have to always be on guard when you're dealing with a narcissist. You have to, if it's somebody that's in your family, or a supposed friend, or a coworker, and you know that they have narcissistic traits, or you believe that they are a full-blown narcissist, always be on guard with them. And if you know that there are topics that you all have gotten into an argument about or disagreement about before, try to change that topic. Do not and refuse to engage it, which goes into our number 18. Refuse to engage with topics that you know that you've had disagreements about, or that causes friction. We know that oftentimes the conversation of politics and religion causes a lot of people to actually be at odds with each other. Many people have fallen out over politics and religion. And so these may be topics that you don't want to discuss with people if you know that they're bent on. Now, as Christians, we evangelize and we witness, but we can't do the Holy Spirit's part. We can't force anyone into acceptance. And so even with Christians, we can often get into debates with each other. And so, I've been there, done that. And I say, you know what? I got to make sure I be on guard, because at the end of the day, and I'm an evangelist, it's my job just to plant the seed, just plant the seed. But it's God, the Holy Spirit is the one who does the watering, the growth, the convicting. And it's not my job to convict. I only give the message, but it's not my job to make that person receive it. And so when we let go, then we just let God deal with that person. So if there's a topic that that causes debate, change the topic. Be like, I'm not going to talk about this. Let's just change the topic. Number 19. Sometimes people are so bent on having their own way that they refuse to acknowledge, hey, you know what, this is causing us some issues. So you have to be the one of sound mind to say that, hey, for my own sanity, I'm not talking about this, and change the topic to something that won't cause tension. And if that person does not want to heed that boundary, then you have to say, you know what, I refuse to engage in this conversation. We can talk about something else, or we don't talk at all, and then let that be it. It doesn't matter who they are. Sometimes people have the attitude, well, I'm not going to talk at all. Well, then that's fine. But you can say, you know what, I'm not going to engage this conversation because it leads us to nowhere. You don't have to, just because someone wants to talk about a certain subject does not mean that you have to engage them in it. You can say, you know what, this never leads us to anywhere. I don't want to talk about this, and if they can't respect that, then that's their problem. But you don't have to engage it. You do what's best for your own mental health. Number 20, respect other people's boundaries. And this is the thing, respect is mutual. So when you set boundaries for yourself, and then when they say, hey, this is my boundary, and then you thank them for letting you know. So then you know that I don't want to disrupt someone else's boundaries. Respect goes both ways, and therefore when someone has a certain boundary that they don't want you to overlap in, then you respect theirs as well. So you have your boundaries, they have their boundaries, and respect is mutual. For example, for those who are dating, those of us who are Christians, you might say, well, you know what? My boundary is I don't let anyone come to my house past 9 o'clock. I don't want anyone calling me after 10. And then if that person respects you, they'll say, okay, I respect that. And then they might say, well, this is my boundary as well. And I don't let people just drop by my house or whatever. So you will have a mutual respect. And that's what builds a healthy and help to build a healthy relationship. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. And that is Respect by Aretha Franklin. Respect. And we all deserve respect, and we are to always give respect. Number 21. If something has been on your mind for a long time, you may want to or need to talk about it. Sometimes you can have these weights, these extra weights on you that you're carrying because you don't know how to talk to the person about it. But take some time, think about it. And if it's something that's on your mind and you need to talk to someone about something that may be bothering you in that relationship, then again, think about it, take some time to consider it, and think about talking to that person about it. Again, you can get your relationship on track if there's a two-way street of communication and respect. Now, if you don't have either of those, then the thing is, it's going to be very difficult. So keep in mind who that person is, and then maybe take some time to talk to them. You may want to take a third party if need be, a counselor, someone, or not take a counselor, but maybe go to counseling if that would help you. Number 22, if you struggle with enforcing your boundaries with someone, ask for help. Sometimes you need a friend to tag along with you if you're dealing with a certain issue with your boundaries. For example, if it's someone we talked about earlier, if you go to a certain place and you know that there's issues with someone and you don't want to be alone with them, then take someone with you that can help you to reinforce that boundary. Talk to them ahead of time and let them know the situation. And then they could be a pillar of support for you. Also, you can talk to a counselor, go to counseling and talk to them about the situations you're having in life for setting boundaries, your understanding your self-worth, your value, and you might want to talk to someone in detail about that, and they can help to put you on your road to recovery. Number 23. Discuss boundaries and expectations ahead of time. You may want to let them know in advance. Say, okay, this is my bottom line right here. And talk to them in advance to let them know, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. This is why I can't do or won't do. For example, for those of us who are Christians, and if you're single and you say, okay, I'm living for the Lord. There's certain things that I cannot do in order to maintain my relationship in good standing with God that He would not have me to do. So when I'm dating an individual, then this is some things that I cannot do and I won't do, and discuss those boundaries in advance so that the other person will know, they can't say, well, they didn't let me know. No, you know in advance that this is where I stand. I'm a Christian. I don't have premarital sex. There's things that we're not going to do that leads to that and the temptation of. So therefore, this is my boundary, and I need you to respect that. And if you can't respect that, then this may not be the relationship for us to get into. So these are things that you may want to talk about. If you start a new job, you might say, well, you know what, prior to getting hired, I can only work Monday through Friday because I'm a full-time parent. Or you might be a single parent. When I say full-time parent, it doesn't mean that you need to be part-time. What I mean is that you might be separated from your spouse or whoever you were with, and then therefore you might have joint custody. So that's what I meant by full-time parent is they may have them 1 week, the other person might have them another week or on the weekend or something like that. So the thing is that you discuss that in advance. Well, I cannot work these particular hours. I'm not available for overtime or whatever. And this way, that person can decide, hey, if this is for them or if it's not, and you can come to a mutual agreement ahead of time. Number 24. You don't have to share your life with everyone share parts of your life with people you're not close to. That means that you're not obligated to tell other people about every detail of your life. Some things are private, and some things you just don't want to share with people, and it's none of their business. Now, if you're married to someone, then you know that you don't want secrets within that relationship, or you're getting ready to get married to someone, then you need to be honest and open with that person. However, other people, you limit what you want to tell them. You don't have to tell everybody everything about you because it's not their business. If they're not living with you, if they're not providing for you, if they're not, covering you for his money or spiritual or anything like that, then the thing is that your private business is your private business. Now, there's times when you need to talk to other people, especially when you're in challenging relationships. And so then you have to gauge, who do I talk to? Who can I confide in? Who needs to know? And then other people don't need to know. It's just things that people don't need to know. I tell anybody, especially for me being an evangelist, I tell people, hey, the first person that you talk to is Jesus. Okay. I've learned this in life. I don't tell everybody my business. I take it to Jesus first before I take it to anyone. He's the one that can answer any and every situation, problem that I have. A lot of times we tell people things that only give them something to gossip about. A lot of times you could tell somebody to pray for you, but they're not praying. They're on the phone gossiping. So I've learned to take it to Jesus and don't tell everybody everything. And even people that's in your family, it doesn't mean that you have to share every single thing. You gauge who you need to tell, who you don't need to tell, who will keep a confidence, who will not keep a confidence. Be as the Bible says, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Number 25, don't respond to work emails or texts on the weekend unless you really want to. Some people just can't let go of that phone. They can't let go of their work. Especially when you're married, you need some time to spend with each other. So you all might come to you might need to come to a compromise to say, okay, on Saturdays we're not going to be answering any texts, any emails, any job related anything. We're not going to do any work. We're going to take this as our Sabbath, our sabbatical on Saturday. And that's especially for couples, that is so important. But even if you're not married, it's good to have a day or two that you say, you know what, Saturday and Sunday I'm not dealing with any work emails or anything of that nature. Number 26. Only take unscheduled calls when you're easily available or want to talk to that person. It's just sometimes some people you just it may not be in your best interest to talk to them, because you know that after you talk to this person, it's going to place you on a whole different planet. Okay. Okay, you have those people that you know as soon as you talk to them, your mood is going to change. You're going to be drained, and you just say, you know what, I am not in the mood for that. Or, you know what, I'm too busy. I'm feeling good today. I don't want to hear no drama. I don't want to hear what this person was fighting with this one and this one. Sometimes you just don't want, and I know for myself, it's just certain people that I have decided that I might talk to them once a year. Okay, they might not, they don't live in my same state, and they might be people that I talk to once a year. And just because the thing is, they're like a soap opera. As soon as you talk to them again, you pick up where you left off. You haven't even missed it. You may have gone a whole year, and you can be sure that as soon as you talk to that person, it's like picking up where you left off. They have not grown. They have not done anything grown spiritually, and you still seeing them in the same situation. So some people, you might say, you know what, this is just a once a year contact, or just, hey, I send you a Christmas card once a year. I hope you're still alive. I wish you well. I wish you the best and everything, but just keep it moving. Because you have to know also when to disengage from certain people that's not growing or not going in the same direction that you're going spiritually, emotionally, and so therefore you have to decide if that's something that you want to continue to engage with. When someone asks you about going to a certain place, number 27, they say, we should connect, or we should meet up for coffee, or what's your phone number? You know that these are not people that you really want to connect with. Then change the subject. You can try to change the subject, or use a light approach. You say, you know what, I'm really busy a lot of times, but you know what, just give me your business card and we can go from there. Don't commit to things that you know you are not going to want to continue. Whether if it's somebody that you meet and you say, you know what, this person, let's go hang out. And you say, you know what, I know I'm not going to want to hang out with this person. And you can say, you know what, I'm really busy a lot of times, but hey, shoot me an email, and then maybe we can have you don't lie, because you don't want to lie. You don't want to be dishonest. But if it's someone you know that you're not going to want to deal with, then you might, there's a nice way to put it. Unless you're excited to meet that person, don't make plans with them. You can say, hey, send me an email, but you can easily ignore emails. Or you could just say, you know what, I'm really busy, so I don't want to commit right now. But hey, you never know what the future holds. So just do it that way. So then you will still be having your boundaries, but at the same time is not so harsh. Number 28. Remember this phrase: I would rather not do that, or I would rather not answer that. You don't have to feel obligated to pick up the phone. You do not have to feel obligated to do something that you're uncomfortable with. So be comfortable with the word, basically the word no. I would rather not answer that. And while you're remembering that phrase, number 29, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. So if it's something that makes you uncomfortable, or any type of topic, you can say, you know what, this is not a good issue or a good topic that I want to talk about. I don't want to dive into that. And just leave it at that. And if that person is not respectful of that, if they can't accept that, then you can end the conversation altogether. So when you're dealing with narcissistic people, they do not like boundaries. Okay, they do not like boundaries. So this leads us to number 30. After you have set a boundary that is hard for you, give yourself a treat. Because let me tell you, narcissists do not like boundaries. All right, they will test those boundaries, but you stand on your boundaries, whatever it is. Stand on your boundaries and congratulate yourself for doing so. If you're the type of person that normally says yes, 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 but you finally, whether it's baby steps, it could be baby steps. Congratulate yourself for those baby steps. Applaud yourself for the baby steps to say, you know what, I someone wanted me to do something, and I actually did not want to do it, and I said no, or I said, you know what, I need some time to think about it, and you actually thought about it. Congratulate yourself for the baby steps. A lot of times we think, oh, it has to be this big mountain that we've climbed, but just the little baby steps is progress. You're on a road to recovery. Some people sprint, some people jog, some people run, some people walk. Whatever the case is, you are on your road to recovery, and congratulate yourself. All right, we are up out of here. I pray that today's broadcast has been a blessing to you. And as always, your feelings, they do matter. This is Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.L. Rich. Until next time, your feelings, remember, they do matter.